Yeah, but I don't think you'll get like for the scale that when you're starting out, like time was never my problem starting out. You're gonna run out of money. I mean, at least early on. Um, the buy orders, right? They um they hold that all that is like oh, if I want to buy 50 of the widgets and it costs a million or whatever each, it's gonna hold that 50 mil right as it's waiting, right? It's escrow or whatever. So it eats up a lot of your capital. So um that's gonna be really your limiting factor starting out. It's this like, oh, I need to put out these buy orders, and that eats up a decent amount of your capital. And uh, I really didn't have a slot problem, like build slot problem early on. I focused on a few things at a time, a few rigs that I thought were, had enough volume that sold at the rate that I was building, and you kind of just, turn the crank that way. At least that's how I did it. One other, I guess, tip, what I used like a T1 Explorer ship as like my little mini fast hauler. I was again doing a lot of small things. Salvage is super small. Rigs are pretty small. Even T1 ammo is actually small. Ammo is actually pretty small. So I would fly it around in like a um, whatever faction uh, explorer ship. That was like my starter ship. So this for this tune it was the Imicus. But I've used the Heron too. That's nice, a little bit nicer. But I think it's a little bit bigger. The Heron's hold was slightly bigger. But yeah. It's kind of a recommendation for newer pilots to kind of help move around a little faster. Um, yep. Yeah. I mean, in high sec, you're probably pretty safe. And for me, I was an alpha for the first few months doing this, so yeah, I didn't run the cloak, but um, the smaller hubs are actually relatively safer. I mean, nothing's totally safe, obviously, but it's not like perma camp like Jita, right? So you can fly in and out of Do Dixie or like Renz and Heka. There's not a lot of people like there waiting to like just blow your ass up. So that's another good thing I guess about um, I mean, it's like perma camped. Like there's always somebody sitting at the gates. Um, and the risk is if you have like a T1 hauler, that's not tanked well. Like someone might just one shot you. They might just do it just for shits and giggles because like they didn't one shot someone for like the last 20 minutes or something. So I mean, there's definitely risk flying in and out of Jita. You would probably use those like those Insta docs and undock bookmarks. I don't know if kind of look into that. If you're flying in and out of Jita, definitely. Um, no, no, but like there's that risk that you'll just ganked for fun. Like I mean, so it's because there's always people there, and so if they get, you just don't want them to be bored. Like ideally, you would like see like something like red, and they just blew up something else. Like I guess if I was flying even with 50 mil in a T1 hauler, I would hope that somebody just got blown up or something. Yeah, I guess just I, I wouldn't recommend starting industry like Inchi though. I mean, I guess if you wanted to just like dump something that you built, maybe, but um, the margins there make it hard, especially without like maxing your trade skills. It makes it it's very hard to compete uh, as far as like you know um, selling stuff. I mean, I guess if yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I do like market trading, so I have that for that, like a market alt. Um, but for like this process, I I don't. I just trained my indie guy with enough trade stuff to be somewhat competitive. And again, I guess for me it was this like high. It's a high. I'm looking for a high margin item, relatively high profit. So like something where I can buy the mats for relatively cheap, and that way I can sell it. And then even if I pay whatever 5% tax or something, I don't lose all my profit, right? If my margin is 20 25%, then I can absorb 5% easily, which you wouldn't be able to do right at G though, because the margin is already that tight. It's probably 5% total. Like even if you like maxed out a bunch of skills, right? So it's gonna be very hard. Um, so I'll just go quickly through this industry screen. I mean, I'm hoping maybe everyone's seen this before, but just kind of to round out the start intro to industry. So Alt S, become your best friend. That's like this industry tab thing. Um, this shows like all your blueprints, and this you can see the third sort. I usually switch this to item hanger. All too often, you forget your blueprints in the stupid cargo hold, and that's gonna screw you because you can't actually build unless it's in the item hanger. And so I changed this sort so that it's like it shows only things in the item hanger. So I don't pick I don't pick it and then like get screwed later. Um, this middle one is nice if you don't have the skills. Again, this is like a kind of a brand new alt. So you would be able to figure out what you need to actually build this thing. This is the job cost, and the biggest inputs really is that system cost index is like how busy it's being builders, like how many builders are in this system relatively. So the game kind of wants us to spread out, so you get sort of value from maybe going a little bit off the beaten path to build your stuff. Again, it's a few percentage points, so again, I didn't care that much, but it's worth knowing what your like what your taxes are and stuff, or what your costs are. Um, no, actually, this facility tax, unless it's your corp, that facility tax is actually pretty low. Like a free port player-owned system usually sets that higher. So um, the way they get value on that side would be they go to a system that's slightly lower, so the system cost index goes down. They potentially rig their station so it's slightly better as far as like you get bonuses. But yeah, unless you go to like your own corp stuff where they set the tax real low, um, the public uh, building areas. And again, I'm not recommending you go there. It's just that they exist. Player-owned stations, they can always deny you access. They could always stop fueling the place. So there's risk in going somewhere that's player owned, that's like you don't know the players. Like if it's just a free port, there's some risk in going there to either research or build. maybe someone else can jump in with that answer. I haven't got kicked out, but I've had situations where like the owner went AFK, and so like the power, like it went low power, and the danger there is it paused all of my stuff, like my research, and I would assume that industry jobs would have got paused too, and the danger is if you cancel a job, it's gonna be like you would lose all the inputs. So um, like in that pause state, I mean, unless they come back and refuel it, right? Which in my case they did, which is nice because we, chased them down or whatever, and it was like, we were paying whatever our corp was paying whatever the access. So, but I'm saying that is a risk. Yeah, if either goes low power or um it I could get blown up too, but whatever. Low power or they kick you out. I think if you're in the station and they deny you access, they can't actually physically kick your ass out. So like when you log in, you'll still be in there. You just can't get back in ever again. So like um like if you knew that you got banned, you could try to grab your shit. But of course, yeah, if you didn't know and you just left for something else, then yeah, you're kind of screwed, right? Right, but like if a job is running, you can't get asset safety for that. So like if you have like 1 minute left on like your battleship or something, like you're gonna get like, well, I guess they ban you, you can still get it out because it'll finish. But yeah, I mean the low power thing is a risk for sure because it pauses those jobs, and unless they restart it, you're gonna lose your inputs. So that is a risk of a player-owned station. Um, okay, I apologize for the format with the whole switching thing. That's kind of annoying, but I think I kind of talked to all the points I wanted to hit. So let's open up again, no more questions, and um, thank you for bearing with me on this first one. No, no, I really like this the more interactive. Like I hate just like a lecturing type thing. So it was nice. A lot of questions did lead kind of where I was planning to go. So it worked well. So yeah, don't feel free, jump in. I kind of like fielding them, so it's no skin off my back here.